When the lights go out and chaos erupts, will you be ready? Most Americans think they are, but the truth is, over 90% of households are dangerously unprepared. And it's no longer a matter of if disaster strikes, but when. Today, I'm revealing the 10 critical items FEMA urges every family to stockpile before the next crisis, plus insider tips that could mean the difference between surviving and thriving. For 8 years, I've studied emergency preparedness, analyzed real disaster data, and tested survival gear that works when it matters. I've interviewed FEMA coordinators, first responders, and disaster survivors. And the gap between what people think they need and what actually saves lives is shocking. Climate disasters are intensifying, power grids are fragile, and supply chains are crumbling. Yet FEMA has already outlined exactly what households need for the first 72 hours. Stick with me. I'll break it all down, plus reveal a few overlooked essentials that could save your family. Let's start with the foundation of survival. Item number 1 on FEMA's critical list is water storage. And when I say water storage, I'm not talking about a few bottles tucked away in a closet. I'm talking about a systematic approach to ensuring your family has access to clean, drinkable water when the infrastructure fails. Here's the brutal truth about water and disasters. Within hours of a major event, store shelves are stripped bare. Water treatment plants shut down. Distribution trucks can't get through blocked roads. And suddenly, that resource you've taken for granted your entire life becomes the most precious commodity on Earth. FEMA's recommendation is simple but specific. 1 gallon of water per person per day, minimum 3-day supply. So if you're a family of 4, that's 12 gallons, just to get you through the initial crisis period. But here's where most people mess this up. They think that gallon is just for drinking. Wrong. That gallon covers drinking, basic food preparation, minimal hygiene, and emergency medical needs. Let me paint you a picture of what 1 gallon actually looks like in practice. About half of it goes to drinking throughout the day. A quarter goes to food preparation, making coffee, cleaning dishes. The remaining quarter handles brushing teeth, washing hands and face, and basic sanitation. It's tight, but it works if you're disciplined about conservation. Now, storing water doesn't have to break the bank or take over your entire house. The most cost-effective approach is buying gallon jugs from your local grocery store. They typically run about $1 each, sometimes less when they're on sale. Build your supply gradually. Every time you shop, grab an extra jug or two. Within a couple months, you'll have a solid foundation. For those dealing with space constraints, consider larger containers. 5-gallon and 7-gallon water storage cubes are stackable, reusable, and come with built-in spouts for easy access. They're more efficient than individual gallons and take up less shelf space overall. Here's a critical storage tip that could save you from disaster. Keep your water in a cool, dark location away from direct sunlight and chemical storage areas. Avoid garages, sheds, or anywhere that experiences extreme temperature swings. Heat breaks down plastic containers over time and can affect water quality. Your basement, a closet, or underbeds are ideal spots. Rotation is absolutely essential. Even commercially bottled water has expiration dates. Mark your containers with permanent marker showing the storage date and replace them every 6 to 12 months. Set a calendar reminder so you don't forget. Stale water isn't just unpleasant, it can make you sick when you're already dealing with stress and limited resources. But what if disaster strikes before you've built up your water reserves? There are emergency tactics you can use. As soon as you know trouble is coming, fill your bathtub completely. That gives you 30 to 50 extra gallons right there. Fill every clean container you can find. Pots, pitchers, empty soda bottles, even clean trash cans with liner bags. One more advanced tip. If you have advance warning, turn off your main water valve and drain your hot water heater. Most residential water heaters hold 40 to 60 gallons of clean, drinkable water that people completely forget about during emergencies. Moving to item number 2, we need to talk about food storage that actually makes sense. FEMA recommends a minimum 3-day supply of non-perishable food for every person in your household. But not all non-perishables are created equal, and choosing the wrong foods can leave you hungry, unhealthy, and demoralized when you need strength most. The foundation of smart emergency food storage is canned goods. They're affordable, widely available, have long shelf lives, and provide real nutrition. Focus on protein sources like canned chicken, tuna, salmon, and beans. Add vegetables like corn, green beans, and tomatoes. Include fruits for vitamins and morale. Don't forget comfort foods like soups and chili that can warm you up and lift your spirits. Here's where people make mistakes with canned goods. They buy random cans without thinking about balanced nutrition or meal planning. 3 days of nothing but canned corn and tuna fish will leave you feeling terrible and potentially deficient in key nutrients your body needs during stressful situations. Think in terms of complete meals. Canned chicken with vegetables and rice. Bean and vegetable soup with crackers. Tuna with pasta and tomatoes. Plan combinations that give you protein, carbohydrates, healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals. For those wanting premium emergency food options, military-style MREs are incredible. Meals ready to eat pack serious nutrition into compact, lightweight packages. Each MRE contains between 800 and 1,300 calories, includes an entree, side dish, crackers, dessert, and accessories. Many come with flameless heaters so you can enjoy hot food, even without power or cooking facilities. The shelf life on quality MREs is impressive. Stored properly, they last 3 to 5 years. They're designed to withstand extreme conditions and still provide complete nutrition. The downside is cost. MREs run anywhere from $8 to $15 each, so feeding a family for 3 days gets expensive quickly. For long-term preparedness enthusiasts, freeze-dried meals offer the ultimate in shelf life and convenience. These meals can last 25 years when stored correctly. They're lightweight, compact, and many taste surprisingly good. The trade-off is higher upfront cost and the need for clean water to rehydrate them. But here's something most people never consider about emergency food. You need variety and foods that actually taste good to you. Psychological well-being matters enormously during disasters. Familiar, comforting foods can provide emotional stability when everything else in your world has gone sideways. Include foods your family already enjoys eating. If your kids hate green beans, don't stock up on canned green beans just because they're cheap. Stock foods that will maintain morale and provide comfort during already stressful times. Peanut butter, crackers, granola bars, dried fruits, nuts, and familiar snacks can make a huge psychological difference. Storage location matters just as much for food as it does for water. Cool, dry, dark spaces protect your investment and maximize shelf life. Basements are ideal if they stay dry. Interior closets work well. Avoid attics, garages, or anywhere that gets hot. Temperature fluctuations destroy nutritional value and can cause containers to fail. Here's a rotation system that actually works. Use the first in, first out method. When you buy new emergency food, put it in the back of your storage area. Use older items first during regular meal planning. This keeps your emergency supply fresh while preventing waste from expired products. Now let's talk about item number 3, and this one surprises people. Emergency communication equipment, specifically a battery-powered or hand-crank radio. In our smartphone-obsessed world, most people can't imagine needing an old-fashioned radio. But when cell towers go down, internet fails, and power grids collapse, that simple radio becomes your lifeline to critical information. During major disasters, local authorities broadcast evacuation orders, shelter locations, emergency supply distribution points, and safety updates over AM, FM, and weather radio frequencies. Without access to this information, you're operating blind in a dangerous situation. Not all emergency radios are worth buying. Look for models with multiple power sources. Hand crank capability means you can generate power even when batteries die. Solar panels provide passive charging during daylight hours. USB ports let you charge the radio from power banks or car adapters when available. Weather alert capability is non-negotiable. NOAA weather radio automatically broadcasts severe weather warnings, emergency alerts, and disaster information 24 hours a day. During tornado outbreaks, flash flood warnings, or other rapidly developing situations, those automatic alerts could save your life. Many quality emergency radios also include LED flashlights, emergency sirens, and phone charging ports. These multi-function devices maximize value and reduce the number of separate items you need to maintain. Brands like Eaton, Midland, and Cato make reliable units that perform when it matters. Testing your radio regularly is crucial. Dead batteries or corroded contacts won't help you when disaster strikes. Once a month, turn on your radio, check all functions, and verify you can receive local stations clearly. Replace batteries before they expire and keep spare batteries in your emergency kit. Item number 4 is medical supplies, and this goes way beyond basic first aid. When hospitals are overwhelmed, ambulances can't respond, and pharmacies are closed, your ability to handle medical emergencies at home becomes literally life or death. Start with a comprehensive first aid kit that covers serious injuries, not just minor cuts and scrapes. You need sterile gauze pads in multiple sizes, medical tape, elastic bandages, antiseptic solutions, antibiotic ointments, pain relievers, burn gel, scissors, tweezers, thermometer, and disposable gloves. But here's what most basic first aid kits don't include that you absolutely need. Blood clotting agents like QuickClot can stop severe bleeding that standard bandages can't handle. Emergency blankets prevent shock and hypothermia. Instant cold packs reduce swelling and pain. Splinting materials handle broken bones. These items bridge the gap between basic first aid and emergency medical care. Prescription medications require special planning. If anyone in your family takes daily medications for chronic conditions like diabetes, heart disease, or asthma, work with your doctor to get emergency supplies. Many physicians will prescribe 30-day emergency supplies when you explain you're building disaster preparedness kits. Over-the-counter medications matter too. Stock up on fever reducers, anti-diarrheal medicines, antihistamines for allergic reactions, cough suppressants, and electrolyte replacement solutions. Digestive issues are common during disasters due to stress, different foods, and contaminated water. Having the right medications on hand prevents minor problems from becoming major crises. Don't forget about sanitation and hygiene supplies that prevent medical problems in the first place. Antibacterial wipes, hand sanitizer, feminine hygiene products, diapers if needed, toilet paper, and garbage bags help maintain cleanliness when normal sanitation systems fail. Medical reference materials are invaluable when professional help isn't available. A good first aid manual with clear instructions for treating various injuries and illnesses could guide you through situations you've never handled before. Include emergency contact numbers for poison control, local hospitals, and family doctors. Item number 5 might seem simple, but it saved countless lives in disaster situations. A loud whistle for signaling rescue workers. When you're trapped under debris, injured and can't move, or lost in dangerous conditions, your voice alone might not be enough to attract attention. Whistles cut through background noise that human voices can't penetrate. They require minimal energy to operate, unlike shouting, which exhausts you quickly. The high-pitched sound travels farther and stands out from natural disaster sounds like wind, water, or machinery. Choose a whistle designed for emergency use, not a cheap sports whistle that might break when you need it most. Look for metal construction, P-less design that won't freeze or clog, and bright colors that make the whistle easy to find. Some emergency whistles include built-in compasses, thermometers, or LED lights for added functionality. Attach your whistle to your emergency kit, but also consider keeping one on your keychain or in your daily carry items. Disasters don't wait for you to be at home with your prepared supplies. Having emergency signaling capability wherever you go increases your survival odds significantly. Practice using your whistle and teach family members the international distress signal. 3 sharp blasts, pause, repeat. This pattern indicates emergency and distress to trained rescue workers who know to listen for it during search and rescue operations. Item number 6 addresses one of the most overlooked threats in disasters: air quality protection through proper respiratory equipment. When buildings collapse, wildfires rage, chemical spills occur, or volcanic ash falls, the air itself becomes dangerous to breathe. Basic dust masks from the hardware store won't cut it when your life depends on clean air. You need N95 respirators at minimum, and ideally P100 filters for maximum protection. These aren't the flimsy surgical masks we all got used to wearing. We're talking about respirators that form tight seals around your nose and mouth, filtering out 95 to 99.97% of airborne particles. Here's what most people don't realize about air quality during disasters. Smoke from fires contains toxic chemicals that cause permanent lung damage. Collapsed buildings release asbestos, silica dust, and other carcinogens into the air. Flooding stirs up mold spores and bacteria that can trigger severe respiratory infections. Even seemingly clean air after earthquakes or storms can be loaded with dangerous particulates. Stock multiple respirators for each family member, because filters get clogged and need replacement. Children and elderly family members need properly fitted masks designed for their face sizes. One size fits all doesn't work when contaminated air is trying to kill you. Test the fit by mask and covering putting on the filter area with your hands. If you can't breathe in, you've got a good seal. Don't forget about eye protection either. Safety goggles that seal around your eyes prevent irritation and damage from airborne particles. Chemical splashes, flying debris, and toxic gases can blind you permanently. Quality goggles cost $20 and could save your sight. Item number 7 takes us into something that sounds like science fiction, but could become your reality faster than you think. Plastic sheeting and duct tape for creating sealed shelter areas. When toxic chemicals leak from industrial accidents, biological agents get released, or radioactive contamination spreads, your regular home becomes a death trap unless you can seal it off from outside air. This isn't paranoia talking. Train derailments carrying hazardous materials happen hundreds of times per year in the United States. Chemical plants release toxic gases during accidents or equipment failures. Even routine industrial processes can create deadly air conditions that require immediate shelter-in-place orders. The concept is simple, but execution matters. Choose one interior room with minimal windows and doors, preferably with its own bathroom. Cover all air vents, windows, doors, and any other openings with plastic sheeting. Use duct tape to create airtight seals around every edge. This creates a temporary clean room that filters out contaminated outside air. Heavy-duty plastic sheeting works better than thin painter's plastic that tears easily. You want at least 4 mm thickness, preferably 6 mm for durability. Pre-cut pieces to fit your chosen room's windows and doors, then store them with your emergency supplies. During a real emergency, you won't have time to measure and cut properly. Quality duct tape is essential because cheap tape loses adhesive strength over time and won't seal properly when you need it most. Store multiple rolls because you'll use more than you expect, creating effective seals. Silver duct tape works better than colored varieties for emergency applications. Practice this process with your family before you need it for real. Sealing a room quickly requires coordination and preparation. Know where every vent is located. Have tools ready to shut off heating and air conditioning systems. Time yourselves to see how fast you can create an effective sealed environment. Item number 8 brings us back to basic human needs that become complicated fast when infrastructure fails. Sanitation and waste management supplies that prevent disease and maintain dignity during extended emergencies. When toilets stop flushing and garbage trucks stop running, improper waste handling kills more people than the disaster. Moist towelettes become your primary hygiene system when water is scarce. Stock alcohol-based wipes that clean and disinfect simultaneously. Baby wipes work for general cleaning but don't kill germs like medical-grade wipes do. Calculate at least 5 wipes per person per day for basic hygiene needs. Heavy-duty garbage bags and plastic ties handle human waste when plumbing fails. The bucket toilet method works but requires proper execution to prevent contamination. Line a 5-gallon bucket with heavy-duty bags, add kitty litter or sawdust to absorb moisture and control odors, tie bags tightly after each use, and store sealed waste outside until proper disposal becomes available. Toilet paper might seem obvious, but most people don't stock nearly enough. A family of 4 goes through 1 roll per day during normal times. Stress and different foods during disasters increase usage significantly. Stock at least 1 case per family member for extended emergencies. Hand sanitizer becomes critical when soap and water aren't available. Alcohol-based sanitizers with at least 60% alcohol content kill most germs that cause illness. But sanitizer doesn't remove dirt and debris like actual washing does. Use sanitizer after cleaning hands with wipes, not instead of cleaning them. Feminine hygiene products are essential for women and girls, but often forgotten in emergency planning. Stock at least 3 months' supply of necessary products because stores may be closed for extended periods. Consider menstrual cups as backup options since they're reusable and don't require disposal. Item number 9 introduces tools that give you control over dangerous situations when professional help isn't coming. Basic tools include adjustable wrenches and pliers that let you shut off utilities and perform emergency repairs that could save your home and your life. Gas leaks kill people through explosions and carbon monoxide poisoning. Water line breaks flood homes and create electrical hazards. Damaged electrical systems start fires and electrocute people. Having the right tools and knowledge to shut off these systems quickly prevents disasters from becoming catastrophes. Every family member over 12 should know where utility shutoffs are located and how to operate them safely. Gas shutoff valves require quarter turns with the right size wrench. Water main shutoffs need strong pliers or pipe wrenches to turn old, corroded valves. Electrical panels need proper breaker switches or main disconnect handles. Practice these procedures before emergencies strike. Shutting off utilities in darkness, under stress, with limited time requires muscle memory and confidence. Walk through your property monthly, locate all shutoff points, and verify you have proper tools stored nearby. Mark shutoff locations with bright paint or reflective tape so you can find them quickly with flashlights. Keep tools attached directly to gas meters when possible, or store them in clearly marked, easily accessible locations. Fumbling through toolboxes during disasters wastes precious time and increases danger. Look, these 10 items aren't suggestions. They're your survival insurance policy when everything goes sideways. Water, food, communication, medical supplies, signaling equipment, respiratory protection, shelter materials, sanitation supplies, and basic tools. Together, they create a comprehensive defense system that keeps your family alive and functioning when government help is days or weeks away. Start building your kit today because disasters don't wait for perfect timing. Your future self will thank you when the lights go out and chaos erupts, but you're ready to handle whatever comes next.